I'm Aaron Maté, sitting in for Jimmy Dore, here with Misha Pollan and Americans comedian Kurt Metzger. We've been covering a lot of media news, the firing of Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon by their respective networks, Fox News and CNN, on the same day. But here's one enduring mystery. Why was this man fired? Why was Brian Stelter fired? Remember this headline from a few months ago? Brian Stelter out at CNN, his show Reliable Sources canceled.
Why was he fired?
Well, that's the question, right? That's the mystery we're all dying to know. And Brian Stelter himself, this intrepid media reporter, he doesn't even know the answer.
I want to ask you about leaving CNN. You recently, relatively recently, left CNN, and clearly they kind of pushed you out as they announced they were.
I've embraced the F word, Dan. Fired.
You got fired. Why do you think you got fired?
I don't know.
Really? You really don't know?
I really, truly don't.
Does he tell him then? You don't know? Let me tell you why.
Like, everyone knows. You don't know?
You're the worst.
No. I know I had a popular show by CNN standards, and I know that it was...
I love how he qualifies that. I had a popular show by CNN standards, which means nobody was watching.
I wonder if his numbers are better than Don Lemon's. Who do you think had better numbers?
That's a great question.
Pretty cheap to produce. But I also know every show gets canceled eventually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Knock on table, okay?
Yeah.
Every show gets canceled eventually, and so I was content with it. But I think what CNN's trying to do is what I just said. Lower the temperature, lower the volume. And I'm rooting for them because we need to have a lot of news networks in this country. We need a wide variety of news sources that are just trying to gather the facts.
The CEO, Chris Licht, has talked about wanting to emphasize news, for example, over opinion, right? And do you think you represented the kind of opinion, particularly from the left, that Chris Licht wanted to distance himself from?
Can I answer that as someone on the left? He did not represent the opinion of the left.
What do they mean by left too? I don't even know what that means now.
By their standards, it means not Trump. That's what it means.
Like Joe Scarborough.
Exactly. He's the left. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like neocons, they're the left now. Yeah, according to them.
I think that's why he ended up letting you go.
Well, I'm just going to let you say it then.
Yeah.
I think we were doing really fantastic journalism at CNN for the 9 years that I was there. I also think Fox News really enjoyed making me a target and using horrible names about me and all that sort of.
This guy wrote, I think, 2 books about Fox News. He talked about Fox News every single week constantly. It's all he talked about. People think they made him a target. They probably made fun of him, and understandably, because there was a lot to make fun of him for.
If you look like a giant breakable egg, yeah.
And also his coverage, they pushed Russiagate. They pushed the Russian bounty scam, Havana Syndrome. They pushed the Hunter Biden laptop lie, all these things.
He looks like Divine out of drag.
Stuff that happens in the cable news wars. I appreciate that shows like yours rise above that. But Fox, they often take the low road. They enjoyed making me into a target, and I think they enjoyed seeing me leave CNN. But I guess I'm not that easy to get rid of.
Well, do you think though that the Fox criticism was part of the reason that they let you go? Because a lot of people said,
well, that's what I wonder, but I don't know. Because
there was a lot of talk about that, right? That you were constantly on Fox. I mean, pictures of you insulting.
They always pick the unflattering pictures.
Right. Insulting nicknames of you, etc. And some of your defenders said, we think that part of the reason that he got let go was because Fox News was constantly making fun of him.
Yeah, look, that's something that I wonder, but I'm very happy, content not knowing exactly what happened. Because to me, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to. I think today's shows, media coverage is important, whether it's on CNN or anywhere else. Understanding what's going on in the media these days, having media literacy is something we all need because...
But not literacy about why I got fired.
Brian, could the King's horses put you back together again?
Oh, man. So this might hold a clue as to why Brian Stelter got fired.
Everybody here keeps talking about ideology and politics. Money. Donald Trump has been very, very good for baseball. He has been wonderful for the industry. Your boss acknowledged as much a number of months ago during the campaign.
Les Moonves.
Donald Trump, huh?
It was Les Moonves who acknowledged
Les Moonves also acknowledged it, but so did the head of CNN.
But that means what? If ratings are up, that means what?
The ratings are up. It means you can't do without Donald Trump. You would be lost without Donald Trump.
Well, that is what he says.
Ted, you know that's not true.
CNN's ratings would be in the toilet without Donald Trump.
You know that's not true. You're playing for laughs. You've lived through enough presidencies to know
Hold on a
there
second,
will be more
Brian.
presidents.
What were the ratings before Trump and what are the ratings now?
I would say we might be up 20, we might be up 30%, we might be up 40%. If we go back down 40%, that's okay too.
Well, it may not be okay.
Of course it is. No, but hold on. I reject the premise that these networks are making so much money off of Trump and thus we benefit from it.
Tell me for a moment, if you will, let's get...
That's preposterous to you, Brian?
He's a media reporter.
The very premise that we want ratings. Oh my God!
Like, are you aware of the basics of the industry you cover and you do every day?
Dan Abrams, I wish, said this to him, like, hey, so what's his name was right?
Away from CNN then, all right? Sensitive subject. Let's go to MSNBC. Is there a moment of the day when they are not focusing on Donald Trump or some intimately related subject? It is essentially, I know every once in a while. You know, if the number of people who died in Indonesia gets up to 1,000, they'll give it a mention or two. But by and large, the only news that's covered, program after program after program.
Ted,
So that was Brian Stelter defending the integrity of CNN and MSNBC, saying they don't care about ratings and profit. They don't care about how Trump is good for their bottom line. And to underscore Ted Koppel's point, this was back when Trump was the president. Even when he's not the president, of course, they're still covering it nonstop. And Brian Stelter was a big part of that. And his inability to have any self-reflection.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. I mean, I almost have to admire his confidence. It's pretty impressive. He's so confident in his position and doesn't have any capacity.
No, that's not true.
Here's a funny one. Brian Stelter retains his title as America's oldest 37-year-old. Pretty good. So the mystery remains, why was Brian Stelter fired from CNN? I guess we'll never know.
Wow. I like how Ted Koppel's hair, like, it looks like it might be a comb over, but also maybe his hair just grows into comb over.
We're telling jokes in Nashville, Honolulu, Los Angeles, Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, Hartford, Connecticut, Baltimore, Chicago, Rosemont, San Diego, and more. Go to jimmydore.com to get a link for all those tickets. Plus, you can watch my new special, COVID Lies Are Funny.